we'll move on now to item 12, which is the Hydrographic Leaders Programme, and specifically the challenges for Pacific Island nations. So the Hydrographic Leaders Programme was a prototype programme that Southwest Pacific has launched with within the last 12 months and has recently come to a conclusion. We feel it's been highly successful. We'd like to share with you now a taster for the main, which will lead into the main face-to-face meeting next week. I understand we have the PNG hydrographer Nicholas Pion, who is ready to present on this topic. So Nick, I'll hand it over to you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Chair. I think I'm going to have a colleague of mine, Jen, who will be
actually
providing the slide.
I think Stuart has the presentation in the folder, so if you want to share it, Stuart.
Yep, okay.
Cool.
Okay. Thank you, Chair. Distinguished delegates, members of the Southwest Pacific Hydrographic community, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Nick Pion. I'm the Hydrography Manager with in PNG. I'm working with the National Maritime Safety Authority. So I'm one of the participants of the first Southwest Pacific Hydrographic Leaders Program. And I'm delighted to provide you with a brief introduction or taster of the program that will be coming up next week. So as the heading says, the session next week will be based on around the challenges faced by the Pacific Island nations. And this presentation basically just tells you what the Hydrographic Leaders Program is about and what we will be discussing in one of our sessions next week. Next slide, please. Yeah. So the purpose of today's session is just to provide you with a taster or a brief introduction of what we will be talking about in that particular session next week, and we hope to achieve by talking to the Commission what we facing especially in terms of the challenges with the Pacific Island nations. And we will be explaining more about that at the sessions. I'm just going through what the session will look like next week and how or what you will be expecting to provide as a feedback. Next slide, please. Yeah. So firstly, the Hydrographic Leaders Program was set up by the Commission and purposely to increase confidence and motivation of participants within this region. It is purposely to lead the hydrographic work in the region as well, and to develop leadership potential of participants, and to promote a presentation of the countries in the region at the international fora. And also purposely is to increase the visibility of this program, being one of the first of the programs. I think it's as participants we have learned a lot from this, and we look forward to sharing next week. So the first cohort was put together in February 2002, and we have participants from in many of the activities over the last year. We've discussed issues of both technical skills, soft skills that are required for a leader to recognize his or her potential. Next slide, please. So this is just the number of countries that are involved in the program itself. So we have Solomon Islands, Niue, Tonga, Cook Islands, UK, Kiribati, Indonesia, New Zealand, Australia, PNG, Vanuatu, and Fiji. So we had a total of 16 participants from all these 12 member countries, representing a wide range of views, experiences. We have decided to use our network to discuss the challenges that we have, especially in the island nations, and some of the potential solutions that the Commission could assist with. And I think there's quite a few challenges that we do face, and we hope that we will address those in the coming weeks. Next slide, please. Yeah, so yes, so we were tasked to come up with a topic, which is to talk about next week, and the cohort it seemed like it was a difficult task. We had lots of different ideas coming up, whether we were going to be presenting a technical or talking on a technical topic or a non-technical issue, whether we will talk about leadership in general, and the format itself, whether it will be interactive or we just provide a presentation. It caused quite a bit of a daunting task in coming up with what we were going to talk about. And I think this, what you see up there is on the right hand side is just basically what we were, all the words, different things that were popping up as we were thinking about what we were going to talk about. But given the diverse range of voices across the region and our mission on the program itself, I think we quickly decided that the most important topic was just to talk about the challenges that we faced. And we did come up with the actual topic itself, which is quite good. And we hope to get some answers from next week's session. Next slide, please. So basically, that's the format of the session. Will be there will be a main group session, which the cohorts will be presenting on the issue itself, and we hope to have a breakout sessions into smaller groups. And just so we can talk about the issues. We believe that talking in smaller groups gets a lot more people involved in the discussions as opposed to the bigger groups. And I think the breakout sessions would really bring out what we expect from the session itself. And then we would reconvene in the main group and to summarize the feedbacks and the discussion points from the session. And I think that's basically the format what you would be expecting on next week's session when we come to the session on the Hydrographic Leaders Program. And I think, next slide, please. I think that's about all, a brief introduction of what you expect next week. And I'm thankful for your time and look forward to meeting you next week.
Thank you, Nick. Excellent presentation. So again, it's a taster really for what's going to happen next week in the face-to-face meeting. So the face-to-face meeting here in Wellington, that's going to, and this is an item that we've got down on day 2, and in total we've got we've dedicated now an hour and a half to this session on the Hydrographic Leaders Program. So any questions from anybody? Hopefully that's self-explanatory and a good introduction for you all.